Hi, I'm Joe Zima. I am one of your MASSW board members, and I am the chair for our Communications and Exchange Research Journal. So I wanted to highlight our most current edition of the Exchange by way of a brief case study with you to highlight some of the content that's in the journal for this month. So this is a second grade student that I was working with. This is a student that was diagnosed with a very rare chromosome abnormality. And because of that diagnosis, we were seeing behavioral characteristics very similar to a student that is highly impacted by autism spectrum disorder. We were seeing hair pulling, screaming, yelling, fits of crying. We were also seeing a lot of aggressive behavior, which included pushing and shoving pretty fiercely the staff that were working with this student. We were also seeing a lot of sleep issues in the classroom, meaning this student 3 to 4 times a week, according to our data, would fall asleep for 2 to 3 hours at a time. And when I say sleep, he was out like a light. We could not wake him in any way. The best that we could do was wait for him to wake. So these are some of the situations that mom was reporting at home as well, including the difficulties with sleep. We know as social workers that we face a lot of issues that we have little to no control over, or so we may think. These are often referred to as distal setting events. That's what this month's exchange is highlighting and presenting to our group of social workers, how to treat distal setting events. So let me walk you through a couple steps that are displayed in the article. So step 1 is identifying and defining the distal setting event. For our second grade student, this was lack of sleep. The second step for our team then was to collect data on the distal setting event, and step 3, analyze that data for any patterns. The fourth step that was presented in the article and that our team was able to use was using the data to select an intervention. So the interesting thing about this article is we're presented with a menu of interventions that we could use, some of which we use for our second grade student. We also worked very closely with our local CMH and attended med reviews with the psychiatrist, and were able to present this information that we collected through the steps in this article. The last 2 things that we did then that are also presented in the article, step 5 is checking our interventions for fidelity, meaning are we intervening in the way that we intended to through using this fidelity checklist that was presented. And finally, step 6 was monitoring our progress. The good news that I'm happy to report is by using all of these steps and working with our local psychiatrist, we were able to eliminate the sleep issues completely between our interventions and the medication adjustments that our local CMH was able to make. So I hope this information is valuable to you as a school social worker. If you'd like more information on these steps, please look at this month's edition of the Exchange as available through our MASSW website. Thank you.